Good evening. We are going to be talking about the compensation plan, marketing plan. A simpler way is how to make money. And I know this is something that when I first was introduced to Neolife over 31 years ago, I was scared. This whole marketing plan, PVBV, it really confused me. So don't worry about it, because you can still build a business and generate income even if you don't understand all the language and how it works. And your upline or the person that invited you to the business will help you and support you every step of the way. And I highly recommend just knowing your next 2 steps. Okay. It's good to have the overall picture to get an idea, the income potential, absolutely, to dream big and set goals, but to really understand and be clear, just be clear on your next 2 steps, and then you can see your income potential. So let's play this old video that I recorded with Cindy many, many years ago. Oops. And then I'll open it up to questions after.
So you've seen a video that I've done on the business opportunity and why I chose Neolife as a business, whether it be a part-time income or like myself, where you can build it up to a full-time position. I'm just going to explain the steps on how the income works, because I know that's probably a very important part of answering some of your questions. So when you actually look at the screen that I'm going to show you, there's different levels of the marketing plan. Promoter is your decision to make the business, and there's different levels of becoming a promoter. You can purchase the business kit, or you can start from the bottom as a basic promoter and work your way up to manager, senior manager, director, emerald director, world team, and eventually getting on to the president's team, which is the elite team. So I'm going to show you how the income levels work at each of these levels. So you can actually start earning an income by generating even your minimum of 250 points PV, and I'm going to show you how these points are generated. When you reach 250 points, your bonus is 3%. When it goes up to 500 PV, 5%, 1,000 PV, 10%, 2,000 PV, 15%, and 4,000 PV, 20%. You have to have a minimum of yourself of 100 personal points in the system under your name, which is your ID number. Or if you have 30 points from one of your club members in your team, you just need to have 60 personal points yourself. So you can actually use one of your customers' points to qualify for 100 points. So that's just to get started. Now I'm going to show you how the actual income works.
So just a reminder that one of the changes to make it easier is you could have 34 personal points yourself and have 3 club members in your team, or 2 even, to add up to the 100 PV. So it's not just you 60 and somebody 30, right? You can have 34 and then 3 people with 30 with a Pro Vitality. And it's not necessarily your first level, it's anybody downline as a club member. Okay, so some of the changes that they've made like over the time since I've done this. Okay, any questions on that? Is that clear?
Excuse me, can you just make it a bit louder, or is that the loudest?
I can't. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is laptop, but can you guys hear it okay? Is it low, Serena? Can you turn your volumes up or no?
Mine is really high already. Mine's full.
No, I know mine too.
Mine is loud. I can hear.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. I know some people find it fine and some people don't, so I don't know why. I'm gonna have to, you know what? It's a new laptop. I'm gonna email the company and see what I can do. Okay, I'll call their support team. So, okay, we're ready to go.
So for example, breakfast pack is the most popular pack that people are using. And by adding like a children's vitamins, just to round up the number, you're generating 100 over 100 PV. You actually get paid on the BV, which is the bonus volume. So when you have a customer that is on a breakfast pack and a bottle of children vitamins, these are the points that are generated in your customer base. I'm going to show you how these points work and how they actually pool up to you and how the company pays you on a monthly basis. So again, first step is to become a manager. So you can become a manager right away by purchasing a manager kit. Okay, And then to maintain that every month, you just have to have 100 points yourself, like I mentioned earlier, under your name. And then when you develop 4 other customers, club members, or promoters with 100 points, those points pool up to you to give you a total of 500 qualifying PV. So qualifying PV means points that you've generated plus anybody in your customer base or promoter base downline, and they pool up to you to give you a total of 500 qualifying points. Senior manager is when you start to generate 1,000 qualifying points in 1 month. So here you are again with 100 personal points. You've developed some customers now, some club members, some club or some promoters, and those points pool up to you to give you a total of 1,000 qualifying points. So here's an example of what the income will look like. Like I said, even if you're not a manager, you can start generating a small bonus check of 3%. So when you hit 250 PV and you reach this level, you will get a 3% bonus and you get paid on the bonus volume. So every product has 2 different points attached to it, PV and BV. The PV is the goal that you want to achieve, and BV is what you actually get paid on. So when you hit 250 PV, your BV is around 450 and you get 3% of the BV. So it's around $14. I know it's not a lot, but let me tell you, I know people that have started other businesses with other companies and they don't even make that ever. So even if you can generate a small bonus, this is a great little start.
And just to give you an update, the BV is a lot higher, and the BV is going to go up at the end of June. And Susan, under Shelley Sheridan, she got her first bonus check. She hit 250 and it was $27. She was so excited. She called me and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I got a $27 check." And I'm like, that, you know, people, especially when they first start their business, to receive a small check in the first 30 days of their business, plus she's getting a Pro Vitality free, right? So that's pretty exciting. So just remember that, you know, when we start building our business, sometimes we tend to forget how excited we were when we got that first check. Okay, so just remember that. Keep that in mind.
Your business. Manager is very exciting because that is your first step to, you know, doubling your income. So when you reach 500 qualifying PV, your BV is approximately 900 BV, and you get paid now 5% on the BV. So it's around $45. So on average, again, this is your bare minimum. We've had people generating over $50 a month part-time by becoming a manager. So an extra $50 a month, I think that's a great little place to start as well. Senior managers, when it starts to get a little more exciting, at 1,000 PV, it goes up to 1,800 BV. So your bonus then jumps from 5% to 10%. And that's when you're earning an average income of anywhere from $180 plus. And again, many senior managers make well over $200 a month because they're generating more than just your minimum of 1,000 PV. But senior manager is 1,000 PV, and that's your next step. An example of you not doing it by yourself. For example, if you generate 500 qualifying points with your customer base, but then you've also developed another promoter in your team, for example, B, those points pool up to you to give you qualifying points of 1,000. So now you've generated 1,000, but not by yourself. So your new promoter, which is B, needs to be paid. So the company, Neolife, recognizes this, and so they will pay you less what they pay your new promoter and leave you with $135. So when you look at this, you would not have received that income if you didn't have B working with you. So it's a very fair marketing plan, and you know, your team really helps you move up to the next level, and I'm going to show you some other examples. So here's an example of you becoming a senior manager with nobody working, nobody building a business. You've just developed a really solid customer base. So you've generated 1,000 qualifying points with just customers. So you've done it all yourself. So as you can see from the first example, you've had to find more people to get to 1,000 points. And that's, yes, you get to keep all the money, but it's a little more work. So when you have other people that you're helping to achieve their goals, you can get to these levels much faster. So here's another example of jumping to the next level of 2,000 qualifying points. When you start generating 2,000 points, so for example, you've done 100 and you've developed other customers, promoters, club members, all of these points pool up to you again to get you to the next level where you're receiving a 15% bonus. So yes, your bonus check will be around $540, but B and C will get paid out as well. And Neolife will do this for you and leave you a check of almost $500, so $481. Again, these are just estimates and approximations. So when you start to develop a team, this is a great part-time income. An extra $500 a month can really help somebody, improve their lifestyle on a monthly basis.
Okay, before we move on, I want to make sure, Eulalie, do you understand what I explained there?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
do.
Everybody? Yeah, Pauline? Okay, good. Just want to make sure, because if you don't understand that basic, then it can get confusing. Excellent. Thank you.
So when you become a director and an Emerald director, that's when you can start developing car bonuses and step onto the world team. And this is a very exciting part, because when I stepped up onto the world team, that's when I was able to leave my job. So as a director, you need to become a senior manager, and then you can develop and build up to a director level of 4,000 qualifying points. So I'm going to show you how that works. So a lot of people have asked me, well, how many people do you need in your team? What does it take to become a director? So we're focusing on the breakfast pack again, because it's easy numbers to work with. And again, I have many customers that order breakfast pack and maybe the cleaners or the skincare or the children vitamins. So these points are just based on the breakfast pack. So if you've introduced 3 people every month or new club members and start them on a breakfast pack, and then you help 3 other people get theirs free, and they do the same, you can start developing a great solid income. So this is how you get your 45 to 60 customers. It's not you doing it all by yourself. It's you sharing, and then your team sharing, and your customers sharing. So that's how you can generate this 4,000 qualifying points, because it's not just you introducing 90 people, it's you sharing with 3, and then they help 3, and then they help 3, because especially with the referral program and the 3 for free program, people are more excited and more wanting to share, which is very exciting. So when you find 3 promoters, you become a director much faster, because not only are you finding customers, you're finding serious business people that are starting to share much faster. So if you have 3 people doing 1,000 points, which is senior manager, and you're doing your own 1,000 points with your customer base, you can get to director much faster. And here's an example. So here you are, right? You've generated 100 points and you have some customers, some club members, but then you've got some promoters as well when you look at B and C. So you've got somebody doing 1,000, somebody doing 500 points. So the company will pay these people from your volume and leave you with around $675. So again, you're still a director, but you've got there much easier because you have other people that are actively building and sharing. So when you become a director and you do it 3 months in a row, this is when you become an Emerald director, and then you can start earning a car bonus when you start generating 5,000 points. So the car bonuses are pretty exciting because they start from $175 and go up to $1,075. So it's $1,175. So the car bonuses are absolutely fantastic. It's just extra money the company will give you and it's a reward for being consistent. This is an example of becoming a World Team member. And this is where your income can really, really start to grow, where you can look at or make a decision as to whether or not you want to go full time in Neolife. And this is where I was able to leave my job. So as a World Team member, you're helping club members, you're developing a customer base, but then you're working with 3 people that want to do the same. And when you step up onto the World Team, the average income is anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 a month plus. So again, we're being very conservative. I think if you're generating an extra $10,000 a month, it probably could be a full-time position, but it's totally up to you when you make that decision as to when you want to leave your job. So the compensation plan is a fair marketing plan. And what I really appreciate.
Okay, we'll stop there only because I want to open it up to questions. And show, stop share. There we go. Awesome. Hey, Lenny. We didn't get a chance to say hi. And Pauline too, hello. Your hair looks nice, Lynn. You do something different. That looks really nice. You look like a teenager.
Had it cut. It looks good, yeah.
Yeah, it looks really nice. It suits you. Great job. Okay. Any questions on the marketing plan, PV, BV, volume pooling? Do you understand it?
I do, and I have a question. So when you become a director,
Mhm.
right, that means you've achieved your 4,000.
Right.
You branch off from your upline.
Yes.
When the somebody in your team becomes a director, do they branch off and have their own team, or they stay with you and, and you build from there?
Okay. So when, for example, Eulalie, right now your 1,000 points or 2,000 points from Serena and Leonie's 3,000 points, right now they're pooling up to me. Okay. So I get all those points. Okay. And then when I get my check, they're going to pay you and Leonie and Serena from my check. Okay.
Right.
Now, Mary Ellen is not part of that because she does her own 30, 40,000 points. So she's broken away from me. Cindy does 10, 15,000 points. She's broken away. Shelley Sheridan, 5,000 points is broken. So those points don't pool up to me anymore.
Right.
You develop a director, that person, those points are no longer yours, but you get a percentage on that business.
Okay.
Okay, so I still make money on Mary Ellen. I would love Mary Ellen to do 100,000 PV because I get a 6% override on her entire business.
Okay.
So there's distributors in Australia that they're just directors, but they've built, there's a couple of, a diamond and a world team member under them. Could you imagine? All they have to do is 4,000 to get an override on their downline. Now they can't go 3 or 4 levels deep because you do have to have more first levels, but not to get confusing. But it's so exciting because, you know, Mary Ellen is first level to me. So I would love for her to do 100,000 group PV because I would generate that income on her whole organization.
Oh,
So
wow.
for you, Eulalie, right now, if you do 4,000, okay, and then you don't continue building and somebody under you takes off and they start doing 4,000, you have to do your own 4,000 to make money on that first level director.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why you can't, that's what makes it fair. Marketing plans that don't have that structure, that's why a lot of companies fold, because they don't have that. Like, you can't, could you imagine if you know, you start building a business, right? And then other team members start growing. Eventually, if I didn't have to sponsor anymore, how's the money going to how's the company going to generate income to pay everybody? Like companies that aren't financially stable, like they don't survive. Okay, so it's a fair marketing plan. So you can't just sit there and do nothing.
Right.
Okay, 4,000 PV is something you need to, or even 5,000, so at least you can get a car bonus.
Mhm.
okay? And then your team starts to grow. So that's why it's important to have, have a few promoters and continue sponsoring club members, right? And then as you get to, because that's going to happen to Shelley, right? She's working with a couple of promoters now. So like she has to make sure that she keeps adding people to her customer base so that when one of those directors breaks away, she'll do 5, her director will do 4, right?
Mhm.
And when that director does 5, that's 10,000 PV is world team.
Okay.
Okay. I think Lynn, you're kind of almost there. Is that what's happening with you and Heather? Yeah. That's pretty exciting. So Lynn's going to be on the world team in the very near future because Heather's growing and growing, right, Lynn? Oh, you can unmute yourself, hon. I'd love for you to share it because that's kind of exciting.
And when?
And when
Also.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Now you have to do your own. So you're going to have Heather and you're going to have Wen. And Wen's first level to you, yes?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's two first level directors, right? So you have to do your own 4.
Right.
Then you have Wen doing 4 and Heather doing 4, right? That's world team, right?
Yep.
Fire director, and which is exciting. And you were on the world team way back, were you not?
Way back when. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you're coming back, girl. I want you back on our team, which is so exciting.
It is. Yeah. Then it's a good testimony, like you say, to longevity. Like, I mean, I'm just still going in the same direction, doing so many years later. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. It's very exciting.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was talking to Ashley earlier and she said the one thing that she really appreciates, she goes, the products are exceptional. She goes, hands down. She's mad that she didn't know about Neolife sooner because she thought this other company she was with had the best products. And then when she discovered Neolife, she's like, man, if I would have known, right? But it was her journey. I think what they went through with that company brought them to Neolife, and they're so passionate. And she said, but once she learned the marketing plan, she was like, I can't believe the stability, the consistency worldwide. She's like, she goes, you don't see that in companies. A lot of companies, you see big growth and the longevity isn't there. So you can make a lot of money really, really fast, but how do you plan for your future? Right? That's the thing. Like you want to have that security, right? So yeah, it's kind of cool. It was really neat talking to her about that. Okay, anything else about the marketing plan, money, PV, BV, price increase? So everybody understands that when the prices go up, the DC goes up, the PV stays, the BV goes up along with the price increase. So if there's a 4% increase, you're getting a 4% raise. Okay, not too many companies give you that kind of a raise every year. What do you think? Does your job do that? Right, and it just keeps up with inflation, right? Which is really important as consumers for us, right? And also as to generate more income. Okay.
Okay.
Clear as mud, Yulie?
Absolutely. No, what I didn't understand, but I do now. It's that when I become director, I know I branch off from you. You still get a percentage from me, but it's when those under me, my promoters who step up to director, what happens to them?
Then I get a first level override on you, and I get and then I get a second. There's a percentage that I get on your downline as well. And if you don't do 4,000, but your team does, then that person below you becomes first level to me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So it's an awesome system.
Right. But those two people, when they become director, they start their own line.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's nice is you can, let's say for some reason something happens and you stop building and you have to take a break and your directors start growing. all you have to do is come back and build a 4,000 PV business, and you jump back in again and start generating.
Right.
income. Other companies put this fear into the marketing plan, whereas if you lose your status, you lose your downline and you have to start all over again. So that
Mhm.
instills fear and buying, and that forces you to buy inventory to keep that title, to keep that status. And some people just can't sustain that.
Right.
So that's why it's a very fair marketing plan. If something happens in your life and you have to take a break, that's okay. You don't lose your organization. You might lose your title,
Mhm.
or, you know, or your status, but you just build back up again, but you still
Right.
generate income on your organization.
So I have a question, Nada.
Yeah.
So let's just say you said, so if Eulalie doesn't meet her 4,000 and the person below her meets 4,000, it then becomes your first level.
Mhm.
So then what happens? So when she comes back,
Then Eulalie will
that
be.
person comes back under Eulalie and becomes a first level, and then you will be her second level to you.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay.
Yep, just moves it around and bounces back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Cindy.
Cindy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that was clear.
And that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Serena, how are you feeling about all this? I know you've seen
No,
this.
every time I hear it, I pick up a little bit more on it,
That's
which
why
is
it's
helpful.
important.
I feel
I'm
that
like
way
you,
too.
I have to hear it over and
Yeah.
over again,
Yeah.
and don't worry about it. And yeah, as long as you understand the basics.
I remember last time we had this conversation, you mentioning something about timesing a number by 1.8 or 1.9. What was that?
That
So,
was
for example,
BV.
people want to know, well, what's the BV? How do they figure out the BV? Well, when you look at the price list, okay, and you look at, let's say you want to try to figure out your income, your bonus, and you don't know. Let's say you're doing 1,000 PV, right? How do you get the BV rather than trying to add up all the points? So, for example, when you do the breakfast pack is 90 PV, right? And the BV is 145.85. So I'm going to times it times 1.5, so it's 1 point, I timed it by 1.6 and it's 144. So let me go 90 times 1.7, it's 153. So it's around 1.65, let's say 90 times 1.65. So yeah, it's around 91.65. Sorry, times 1.65. So let's say you do 1,000 PV. Let's say you're trying to figure out, oh, how much is that my check going to be, and you're not really sure. So 1,000 times 1.65 is around $1,600.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
So if you do 4,000 times 1.65, does that sound right?
66 something.
Does that make sense? Oh,
Doesn't,
oh yeah, that's the BV. Sorry, the BV is
Yeah.
6,600. Okay, so 6,600 on 4,000, you now make 20% times 0.20. So your check is $1,300. Okay,
Gotcha.
so at 2,000, now we're getting, so right now, let's say right now, 2,000 PV, I said times 1.65 is 3,300.
Mm.
So you make 15%, right? 3,300 times 0.15 is $495. Okay, now when we have that 4% increase, can you guys figure that out, or is that
what's the
too-
number again?
4%?
490
So
No.
how do you increase?
Sure.
Like I'm not,
times.
how would you figure out a 4% increase?
Oh,
on
what
that.
was the figure?
Multiply by 5, that's the 4.
495, did you say?
Yeah, $495 would be your bonus check. Times 0.04, so it would be another,
Times 4%,
yeah,
1980, so 1980, 495 plus 1980, $514.80.
okay, so get a little extra, right?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, and when the price, when they do the price, they've done the price adjustment. When we get our first, like our, the product and feature sheet, we'll redo that sheet for you as well. But maybe what you can do is add up your BV as if with the new prices, and then you'll see, you know, what your income will be next month. It's kind of cool when you're looking at the increase.
Mhm.
Okay.
And on the sales report, the BV is not on the sales report, is it? I kind of looked for it before and I didn't see
yeah.
it. I just
I
wasn't
don't
sure where to see that.
There
Like
is
it-
on one of them. You have to go to, there is one of the sheets, one of the
Is
account
there?
files. Yeah,
Okay.
you got to click around. There's a few different documents on there that you can pull up.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay. How did you guys do? Oh no, your success teams tonight, right? The Monday night guys.
Today's Tuesday.
Oh
Today's-
gosh, today's Tuesday. How was it? How was it Monday? Sorry.
Very good.
Experimental, according to Ashley.
Yeah, because they're
We're
gonna
always the guinea pigs on Monday
yeah,
night.
they're gonna record Monday and Wednesday and send it to us for Friday because she's away Friday, so that's okay. Okay, good. Just wanted to know how it was. So awesome. Okay, well, listen, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. If you don't have any other questions, I'm going to zip over only because I want to adjust the NeoShip slides on the PowerPoint presentation before I start tonight. Mary Ellen is away, so it's just Shelley and I tonight. So if anybody coming back to share their story, when are you going to be here for the? Let me stop the recording. Thank you guys for joining us. Give me 1 sec.